Hi guys, so we made it through long division. This next method of how to divide polynomials is called synthetic division, and let me tell you, it is so much easier and so much faster. You are going to love it, and I'm not being sarcastic, it is really great. So let's take a look at the process here. We have 2x cubed minus 7x squared minus 4 divided by x minus 3. So what synthetic division is, it is a method that we use to divide polynomials, but note that it doesn't work for all division of polynomials. It only works when my divisor is in this form, or x plus 1a. So it could be either x minus a, like x minus 10, x minus 100, or it could be plus x plus 3, x plus 5. Note though that it has to be 1x. It can't be 2x minus 3 or 5x plus 10. It has to be just 1x. So that's the only time I can use synthetic division, when my divisor is in this form. So note, my divisor is currently x minus 3. The first thing that we need to do is figure out what a is, and all we have to do is change the sign. So right now it's a negative 3. My a is going to be a positive 3. Okay, and now these steps, if you would like to write them down, these are the steps. And right now, I mean, if you want to pause it and jot this down, you can. Right now, those steps don't really mean too much, but it will when we do this first practice problem. Okay, so the first step, rewrite the coefficients. So we have to remember that coefficients are the numbers in front of the variables. Okay, so if we go through, we're going to rewrite the coefficients, and I'm going to pull them out here. So I see 2, then I see a negative 7. Remember that the 0 placeholder still exists, whether we're in long division or synthetic division. So notice we go x cubed, x squared, no variable. We need it where it's just 1x, like x to the first power. So I need that 0 placeholder, and then my last coefficient is a negative 4. And look at this weird symbol. Like, synthetic division is so weird, but it's so much faster and so much easier. We'll just have to learn to get used to it here. And then I take my a and I write it out front of this upside down division bar. Okay, so that's the first step. Rewrite just the coefficients. Crazy. Now we bring down the first coefficient, and it's really helpful to put an arrow there. So I bring down the 2. Okay, and now we start this process of doing our two favorite things, multiplying and adding, which is why we like synthetic division. We love multiplying, we love adding, let's do it all day long. So what we multiply is, I'm going to take, and normally I wouldn't write these arrows, but it's the first time we're doing it, so I will. Let's do a dotted one. Okay, so I'm going to take 3, the a value up front, and multiply it by 2, this number that I just brought down. 3 times 2, and whatever I get, I'm going to write it up here. 3 times 2 is 6. Once I have a number after I multiply, then I'm going to add straight down. So negative 7 plus 6, negative 1. And then we start it all over. Then I'm going to do 3 times negative 1, write it up here, that's negative 3. And then I'm going to add straight down. I told you it's crazy. Add straight down. I'm going to get 0 plus negative 3, negative 3. Multiply again. 3 times negative 3. I'm going to get negative 9. Add straight down, negative 13. And that's it. We just have to write our quotient. Okay? Super weird process. It's just a pattern you have to get the hang of. And now we have to do our fourth step. So we took out the variables. We have to put those variables back in. It's really important that we start at the end here. So the end, I mean this negative 13. Whatever that last number is always your remainder. Okay, so I write a little r under it. And then I go backwards in standard form. Remember, standard form is that ax squared plus bx plus c. So I always have like a plain number here at the very end. So the last number is my remainder. Backward standard form tells me that I'm next going to have a constant. and then I'll have an x term, and then I'll have an x squared term. If there was more, I would say x cubed. And then my last step is to put it all together. So now, here's part of my answer. 2x squared minus 1x minus 3. Remember how we write it? Plus the remainder over the divisor, plus negative 13 over my divisor, x minus 3. So how that looks is like this. 2x squared minus 1x minus 3 plus the remainder over the divisor, just like we did in long division. Okay, and that's it, guys. So much faster, so much easier. I'm going to do another example, but if you think you got it, feel free to move on to the practice. That's all this lesson is. So let's do another one here. We're going to use synthetic division. Can't really see it too well, sorry. I'm trying to get it a little smaller for you. To divide x to the 4th, that says. I don't know why it's being so frozen. X to the 4th plus 3x cubed minus 10x divided by x plus 2. Use synthetic division. First thing we should do is we need to figure out what my a value is. So remember, we always take the divisor, which is x plus 2, and change the sign. So my a value is going to be negative 2. That's what comes from here. And then we pull out the coefficient. So what's the number when I don't see a number? That's a 1. Here's the 1. Then I have a positive 3. Notice I'm missing the x squared term. That gets written as a 0. My next one is a negative 10. And notice I'm missing the constant. You know, in standard form, the last term is a constant. That's why I have a 0 there. And then we start our synthetic division. First step, bring down the first coefficient. I put that arrow there to remind myself like I don't write anything there. I write it down here. It's a 1. Just carry it down. And then we start with multiplication. Negative 2 times 1, negative 2. And then I add straight down. Ignore that here. Let's erase that. And then I add straight down. So that's going to give me 3 plus negative 2 gives me 1. Start over. Multiply. Negative 2 times 1 gives me negative 2. Add straight down. 0 plus negative 2 is negative 2. Keep going. Multiply. Negative 2 times negative 2 gives me a positive 4. Put that up here. Add straight down. Negative 10 plus 4 gives me negative 6. Last time, multiplying negative 2 times negative 6 gives me positive 12. Add straight down gives me 12. My quotient is down here, but all those random numbers, they don't mean anything until I put my variables back in. So I start at the end here. Here's my remainder, my constant, my x squared, my x cubed. Like I said, whatever it needs to go until I continue and I write it. And then we go vertical and put it all together. So I'm going to have 1x cubed plus 1x squared minus 2x minus 6 plus my remainder over my divisor. My remainder is 12 and my divisor is x plus 2. And that's synthetic division for you guys. So you're going to go ahead and practice the try-its in the next section. Great job, guys.